up, everybody? This is Mike Shuley here from nextlevelguitar.com. Thanks for tuning in for another great video lesson. We have a really cool scale here to show you guys today. We're going to be talking about the application of the whole tone scale. Most people don't really know what this scale is or really how to apply it, but it's really cool, and you can use it over dominant seventh chords, which is a very prevalent chord in jazz today. And I'm going to teach you a little bit about it and how it works and the application that you can use it over. So let's get into that. All right, so let's go in for a close-up here, and I'll show you just the kind of the pattern for the scale that we're going to be using. Okay, here we go. So we're going to be in the key of G, and this is the kind of the way the whole tone scale looks on the neck, on the fretboard. So we're going to be in G, and we're going to simply just go just like this. I'll play it slow for you once. Back. And that's it. That's the scale right there on its own. And if you guys hear this scale, it sounds very familiar in a lot of movies. It's kind of they call it the dream sequence scale, because it has that kind of, when you play it fast, that dream kind of sequence. It's a very popular scale in cartoons and movies and things like that.
Like Tom and Jerry?
Like Tom and Jerry, David, yeah, just like Tom and Jerry. When the guy's going to sleep and the little dream bubbles come up.
Or when the guy gets hit in the head with a frying pan?
Or when the guy gets hit in the head with the frying pan, yeah, that kind of very, very useful scale in that kind of context. But it can also be used in improvising, and a lot of great improvisers use this scale. Guys like Chick Corea, guys like John Scofield, Pat Metheny, all really love this scale because it kind of gives it more of an outside kind of a sound. And you can use this scale over almost any kind of type of dominant chord. Doesn't matter if it's just a regular dominant chord or a dominant chord with a 13th or a flat 13th or a sharp 5 or a raised 9 or a sharp 9 or on all that crazy nonsense, right? This scale can always usually be used over those chords, and it gives it kind of a more outside kind of a sound. I'll show you another cool pattern for this scale, and this gets you, instead of playing with the fretboard like this, it gets you going across the fretboard. And I'll show you another kind of cool pattern for that. It goes like this. I'll play it slow for you. That's a very cool pattern to use doing the whole tone scale, because you can do these kind of runs, these fast runs like this. You could do runs like that, and it sounds really, really, really cool. And usually when you play that, especially if you're playing in like a blues kind of a setting, you just kind of throw that in there. It's like adds a nice little kind of spice, and everybody's ears just kind of go like, "Whoa! Like, what was that? That was so cool!" And I'll kind of, the reason why this scale works so well and has the kind of sound that it does is because you're adding these kind of cool extensions to the chord. You have your just your regular root, your ninth, and your third here, but it gets really cool because you have your flat 7th, and then you have your flat 13th, which is a really cool tone. Then you also have your flat 5. And then you have your 3rd, and then you have your again with your 9th, your root, and your 7th, and then with your flat 13 or sharp 5, however you want to look at it, and then your flat 5, and then your natural 3rd, and then your 9, and then your root. And that's what gives it that kind of really cool tonality, is just really what it is just these kind of alternating between the 5s. You raise the 5 and then you flat the 5 too. Like that. That's what really gives it that really cool sound. And I'll play a little bit for you, and I'll kind of get you the feel of how it sounds. I'll play over a little backing track I made, just playing over a simple G7 dominant 13 chord, very popular chord, and I just kind of add a little chromatic chord in there. It's just a D flat with a 9 in there, which is a really cool chord too. And I'll play a little bit about, and you can kind of get the feel for the scale and how it sounds and everything like that. That's the kind of sound that I was talking about, and you don't just have to use whole tone scale the whole time. It's something that adds a little nicer kind of spice and flavor. You just throw it in when you need it. With any kind of scale, you just don't want to just use the notes from that scale. You want to mix it into your arpeggios and to your pentatonic and to your bebop scales and things like that. And it's just a nice little flavor, and it gets you kind of taking things outside for a second. And it's really interesting to hear when players do that. I know my ears, every time I hear a player do that, I'm like, oh, that was really cool. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Mike Shuley here with nextlevelguitar.com. Be sure to visit the website. We have tons and tons of videos. It doesn't matter what stage of the game that you're in. If you're a beginner, intermediate, if you're an advanced player, we have something for everybody here. So be sure to check it out.